Nerd alert! Learning is important, right?
Yes, exactly. What a bunch of nerds.
Nerd alert!
Right.
Marketing Architects.
Hello, and welcome to the Marketing Architects, a research-first podcast dedicated to answering your toughest marketing questions. I'm Elena Jasper. I run the marketing team here at Marketing Architects, and I'm joined by my co-host, Rob DeMars, the Chief Product Architect of Misfits and Machines.
Nerd alert! I just felt like doing that.
Nice. All right, as Rob said, we're back with your weekly Nerd Alert. Every week, I'll take a deep dive into academic marketing research and translate its complex ideas into simple, understandable language for Rob and, of course, for all of you. So, Rob, are you ready to nerd out?
Absolutely.
Let's get into it. As always, I'll link the research we cover in the episode notes. This week, I read the long-term impact of loyalty programs on consumer purchase behavior and loyalty.
Oh, I love loyalty programs.
I know you do. I know you're excited about this one. This is by Yuping Liu of Old Dominion University, and it was published in 2007. So, Rob, to get us started, what is your favorite loyalty program?
For sure, it's Delta. I love my Delta loyalty program. I have no idea if I actually gain anything from the points or any of the stuff, but they have a way of plugging right into my FOMO, and I love them. Love my Delta.
Yeah, I love Delta too. I was on a flight yesterday, and the flight attendant was going around and congratulating people on their miles. I was like, oh, that's like a perfect example for the podcast we're recording because
Absolutely. And then you get to look at the person next to you and say, you didn't get a thank you.
Yeah.
Get to feel all special.
I was next to someone on the flight that had 1 million miles. So that's
Wow.
pretty impressive. Then I started to think, do you think that she's starting to get tired of like every Delta flight? They're like 1 million miles. She's like, I get it. Okay, let me ask you this. Do you think that Delta's loyalty program causes you to fly Delta more than you would have without the loyalty program?
I know as a fact it does, for sure.
Wow. Okay.
Without a doubt. I actually get mad if I have to fly another airline for some reason.
I do too, actually. But then I was forced to fly Southwest a few weeks ago. I'm like, oh, other airlines are good too. Delta's brainwashed me into thinking that that's like the only way to fly. I'm like, oh, this is great. But I agree. I'm definitely loyal to Delta too. So we've got one case study from Rob. We're going to talk about this study because it set out to answer that question. How much do loyalty programs influence our buying patterns over an extended period of time? Because loyalty programs, they're not new, they're everywhere, but their actual effectiveness has been a debate amongst marketers for a while. Ehrenberg Bass is known for their research pointing towards brands growing more effectively through a focus on acquisition rather than loyalty. So the question is, are loyalty programs really fostering loyalty, or are they just costly gimmicks? Let's talk about the research. Lou looked at data from a convenience store franchise's loyalty program. He examined the long-term effects of the program, specifically analyzing how different types of consumers, separated by their initial buying levels, react to loyalty program incentives. So Rob, I want you to take a guess here. How do you think the effectiveness of loyalty programs varies according to whether you're a light, moderate, or heavy buyer?
So I think if you're a heavy buyer of a certain category, you're really into your loyalty program because you feel like you've got some kind of power that you can leverage. But if you are a light user, you actually get annoyed by those loyalty programs. Like you feel like you get more spam or homework than you do benefits.
Okay, you're wrong. Kind of.
Of course I am. But I'm passionately wrong.
That's okay. I feel so mean asking these questions because I would totally be wrong too. But since like I have all the information.
I'm an expert in my opinion.
Yeah, Rob's coming here. He doesn't know what we're going to be really talking about. So that's okay. Let's talk about it. You're right in a way. So heavy buyers who are already spending a lot at these convenience stores, they claim their rewards most frequently. However, the program doesn't necessarily encourage them to spend more than they already do. But moderate and light buyers were different. The customers who initially spent less started to buy more frequently. The loyalty program encouraged them to increase both their spending and their visit frequency. The most dramatic results happened within the first 3 months of joining, and then the purchase frequencies continued to increase, but at a slower rate. So the excitement of the program or the novelty of it may have given it a boost at first, and then it stabilizes over time. So here's another interesting finding. Light buyers who initially wouldn't have seen much of a benefit from a loyalty program gradually expanded their purchases into new categories and found more value in the loyalty program. So what might this mean for brands? While loyalty programs usually attract heavy buyers, you might be better off offering immediate, smaller rewards for light and moderate buyers, and then let heavy buyers wait longer for the substantial rewards. So I think that's kind of an interesting finding. If you can customize a loyalty program according to buying frequency, you could maybe increase its effectiveness.
It's like the opposite of the definition of a loyalty program, to reward your heavy users for being loyal.
Yeah, I suppose. That was interesting. Yeah, so heavy buyers, they might be claiming these rewards like the most frequently. So they're using it more,
Right.
but it's not really encouraging them to spend more than they already would have without the loyalty program. But also cool that like these light buyers, initially you're not getting as much of a benefit because you're like brand new to the store. But after you get on this loyalty program, they started to get into new categories within the store and find more value. But again, that kind of gets lower after the first 3 months. But it's so interesting. Then, like, if you can get people in right away in the loyalty program, like it can just it can get them going a little bit.
That is interesting to think. Okay, well, the lighter buyers are the ones that are going to appeal to a loyalty program more than the heavy users, because you're trying to just spark those initial buys. That makes sense. And as a marketer, that makes sense of why you'd want to do it, versus probably the heavy users are the ones that are more expensive to be loyal to, because they're the ones taking advantage of your value proposition the most.
How would you actually customize this is one thing I was thinking about. If someone signs up for the loyalty program, maybe you look at their past purchases and that changes like exactly what you offer them. But if I found out a brand was doing this to me, I'd be annoyed personally. If I was like a heavy buyer and I found out that, oh, because I am loyal to you, I get less stuff. But then maybe there's something just for like light buyers, like an incentive at the beginning you could give to people, which I know sometimes stores do that. Like you go in for the first time and you get like a punch card and it's like get to 10 and you get one free or something like that.
Yeah, you'll see that with the airlines where they introduce a branded credit card that allows you to sort of jump the line, if you will, and increase your status quicker than those that might already have that status and they don't really care.
Let me share our Rob GPT because I really liked this one. Think of a loyalty program as a garden where different plants represent various types of customers. This study reveals that while the sunflowers, heavy buyers, stand tall and steady, not growing much more, it's the daisies and the tulips, moderate and light buyers, that really thrive and blossom when nurtured with the right incentives, turning a once sparse garden into a vibrant display of loyalty and increased spending.
Wow, that's really good. It kind of sounds like weeds. You know, the new buyers are like, they're the fast growing. Just, you don't even have to water them. They just sprout right up.
Yeah, I guess so. I'm really enjoying asking Chat GPT to do metaphors.
I really appreciate them.
Hey, we learn in stories. That's it for this episode of The Marketing Architects. We'd like to thank Ayana Klaphocky for producing the show and Taylor De Los Reyes for editing. You can connect with us on LinkedIn, and if you find the show valuable, please leave us a rating and review. And if you'd like to hear more from us, subscribe to our weekly email newsletter. It's built for marketers seeking research-first analysis of the latest trends. You can go to marketingarchitects.com/newsletter to subscribe. Now go forth and build great marketing.
I'm really going to try my hardest to be as wrong as possible in any future episode as well. You know, I can make the rest of the world feel good by my...
That's what you're doing?
Marketing Architects.